This example is from MGF 1107. It's an example of an application problem using modulo systems. So in this example it says a tennis pro's workout schedule is to have both morning and afternoon practices for 3 days. So that's key, that for 3 days they're going to have both morning and afternoon practices, followed by 1 day of rest, and morning practice for 2 days, and then rest for 2 days. Okay, so let me see if I can write this down. I'm going to use B for both morning and afternoon practice. So the cycle is both, 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 1 day of rest, morning, morning, and then 2 days of rest, and then we start all over again. So it looks like it's an 8-day cycle. 3 days of both, 1 day of rest, 2 days of morning, and 2 days of rest. So it says if the tennis pro is on her rest for 1 day part of the schedule, so I'm going to circle that, rest for 1 day. So we know the tennis pro is right there right now. Determine what she will be doing in various days from today. Part A says, what day of the workout schedule will the tennis pro be on in 18 days from now? And remember, now is that single day of rest. So what we have to do is remember our 8-day cycle. So for every 8 days, we end up right back where we're at right now, on the same type of day. So in 18 days, I know 18 has 2 groups of 8 in it with a remainder of 2. So 18 days from now is the same as 2 days from now. So if we go 2 days from now, we'll end up on morning practice. So using the notation from this section, what we can do is we can say 18 is congruent to what? Mod 8. And again, it's modulo 8 because it's an 8-day cycle. And in this case, what we do to find that question mark is we divide 18 by 8 and we find the remainder. So we say that 18 is congruent to 2 mod 8. So again, 18 is congruent to 2 mod 8 because 2 is the remainder when we take 18 and divide it by 8. So 2 days from the current day, which is the single day of rest, would give us the morning practice day. Now, for part B and C and D, we do very much the same. So what day of the workout schedule will the tennis pro be on 59 days from now? So we go 59 days from now. Well, that's just the same as how many days from now? Well, what we do is we take 59, we divide it by 8, and we look at the remainder. And I know 7 times 8 is 56, so the remainder would be 3. And if you wanted to divide it out by hand, you could. You could divide 8 into 59. It goes in 7 times. 7 times 8 is 56, and the remainder is 3. So that's 3 days from today is the same as 59 days from today. At least they'll have that tennis pro will have the same type of practice schedule, 59 days from today as it will 3 days from today. So 3 days from today will be the first day of rest on the double rest period. So we'll just put rest. 121 days from today, so we go 121 is congruent to what? Mod 8. So we want to know how many times 8 goes into 121, but really we care about that remainder. And 8 goes into 12 once. We subtract, we get a 4. We bring down the 1. 8 goes into 41 5 times. 5 times 8 is 40. And the remainder would be 1. So 121 is congruent to 1 modulo 8. So 1 day into the future is the same practice type as 121 days. So if today is the single day of rest, 1 day forward is morning practice. 1 day in the future is the first day of the 2 days of morning practice. And then 86 days, we'd say 86 is congruent to what mod 8? Well, I know 8 times 10 is 80, so the remainder is 6. So you could go 6 days into the future. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that would take us to both practicing. Both morning and afternoon practice. And 6 is congruent to, if you subtracted 8 from 6, you would get to a -2. So in other words, instead of going 6 days forward, ending up in the middle of the both practice days, you could go 2 days in reverse and you'll end up at the same spot. Again, all we did is we took 6 and subtracted 8 from that, and we end up with -2. So, in 86 days from today, that tennis pro is going to have both morning and afternoon